Hello, friends. Welcome back. Hopefully, you're coming back to join me on our little visit, our monthly visit. Approximately a month. I think it seems to be really close to a month or just a hair over. Kind of depends on when I can get to this. So yeah, I'm hoping that this video will be kind of shorter than I have been in the past because I don't have it. Seems like as much stuff to talk about, but I think I've said this before in the past that I've said this before and then it turns out to be almost as long as normal. Whatever, it is what it is. So if you are new, welcome. We have new people, hopefully. Yeah, I think we're gonna jump right into things because there's some other things. I mean, I can kind of quickly, I feel a little off today because I'm having problems with this ear. It has been, when I went to my last normal doctor visit, they said it had a little bit of buildup in it. And it's like, we'll keep an eye on it. She can clean it if it ever turns into something where it looks like it needs to be cleaned. Well, it's now feeling like it's plugged. So it doesn't feel like it's an earache yet, but I'm probably going to need to go because I've been trying to use the at-home earwax removal, drippy, liquid stuff that you put in your ear, and it's not helping. And so I think I'm going to have to go in and, you just kind of got this fog, this feeling over here because you can't hear out of that ear and it just messes you all up. So that's probably the only extra thing, weird thing that's going on right now. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Work has been going well. If for those of you who don't remember or haven't watched maybe in the last video, I did start working at the Hallmark store in the town near us. It's about 7 miles away. The stump grinding company, I'm still doing stuff for them occasionally. So in October I worked for a week because there was the gal who does office stuff was going to be out of town. And then this last Friday, I worked the day for them. They wanted me to work Thursday as well, but I was already working all day at Hallmark. So they wanted me to come in, and I just said I could only do Friday because she's been out sick. I haven't heard anything about this coming week if they would potentially need me. I might have a day between the Hallmark schedule. Besides that, I might be able to help them out a day, but we'll have to see if they call me and if they need help or not. But Hallmark's going well. It's anytime you start a new job, it takes a while to get used to it. It takes a while to know how everything works, whether it's the register, the computer system, how things need to be done in the business, whether it's a store or otherwise. So it just takes a little while to figure all that out, and I'm still learning. And I've learned over time that as you're younger, whenever you make a mistake doing something, you feel really, really bad about it, and you just feel like I totally messed up. What is wrong with me? Blah, blah, blah. And I've learned now, and I know people have said this in past history, whatever, you learn the best when you make a mistake. You tend to retain that information better. And so I don't worry about it. You just tell them that there's something that happened, that there's a mistake made, or they let you know if you don't know you made that mistake. And you tend to remember it better. When you start a new job, there's a lot to remember. There's a lot to do, a lot to remember, and you don't retain all of that information. It just takes a while. So slowly over time, you end up, oh yeah, that's right. This is how I have to do this. Or they come back and say, yeah, you weren't doing that quite right. This is how you need to do it. Chances are you're going to remember it better if you've made a mistake, and then they tell you and you can correct what you've been doing wrong. It's nothing to be worried about. It's nothing to feel bad about. It happens. Everybody's going to make mistakes. So, yeah, don't stress about it. In other words, it'll all be all right. In the end, it will be all right. And I've noticed the sun has started to set over in the window of the door over off here to that side of me. And so now it's starting to get a little more shaded on here, which is fine. But it just kind of, if you've been watching this video, you've noticed the darkness just kind of settle in over a little bit more on this side, and that's why. So yeah, work is going well. We did just have our Christmas party the other night, actually last night. And yeah, it is still November, but once December comes, as we all know, everybody gets extremely busy, and it's very hard to do that. So between people's busy schedule and our busy work schedule, because they're going to bump up the hours, so we're going to be open later, is going to be really hard to try to fit it in. So it was a lot of fun. We played some games. They have a really nice, this was at one of their buildings by one of the owner's house. So it's kind of a garage, but it's a play, got a loft area where they've got a lot of like a pool table and different things. And so it was very nice in there to be able to chat with your coworkers that you see at work, and that's all. And you're busy working, so you don't have a lot of time to chat with them. So it was a lot of fun, very nice. So yeah, everything is going well here. Our weather has turned colder like it has just about everywhere else in the US. We're probably down to the low 30s, maybe the upper 20s at night, and then during the day it usually warms up into the 40s and maybe low 50s. It just kind of depends on the day, but we usually have frost, and in my pond out back, a very thin layer of ice in the morning on it. So it's getting chillier here. We usually don't get snow at the normal elevations. Occasionally we do. It just depends. And sometimes it's really bad, and sometimes it's a light snow, and sometimes we don't get any at all. So we'll have to see what happens around here for winter this year. See what's going to happen. Trying to think if there's anything else. So far I don't think so. I think that was the main kind of life news for general things. I've got some other more specific things coming up that I will talk about, so I'm not going to cover that right now. So with that, let's get into some stitching stuff. Okay, first two things I think it is. Yes, two things are whips. So things I am still working on, the work's in progress. The first one I'm going to show you right off the bat so I don't forget is my Hade. It's the Treasure Hunt bookshelf. I don't believe I got a ton done, and that will become evident by when you see it, as well as what I talk about later as to why I didn't get as much time in on it. Just one of those things, I just didn't. So yeah, there you go. Not a ton of progress. It has been really nice though, the times I have been working on it, because from where I stopped last time until the edge of where I'm working on, there's been a lot of sections where the same color I get to stitch a lot of instead of doing a lot more confetti. As beautiful as it looks with the confetti and the changes of colors, it's a pain in the butt. So yeah, it's been very nice because I've been able to do a lot more area, even though it's kind of staggered. There's a lot of the same color within a certain amount of squares there to the edge. Okay, the next thing that I have worked on that's still a whip is my temperature chart. So that's the temperature butterflies by Stitching Mommy. Each butterfly is a month, and each butterfly has a segment, one for each day of that month. I have not worked on the November part at all because where I had the Q-snap, it framed September and October. I did not want to move the Q-snap over and start November and December and then have to take it out for this video. So I just thought, I'm just going to wait until we do this video, then I will move it over. I'll have the area for November and December, and I'll just hammer those out at that time. So let me show you how it looks. I'm going to try and fold the edges over a bit so that's not in the frame and be in the way. So there it is. There it is, so pretty. Now, can we tell when fall arrived? Can we tell? Can we tell? Yeah, you see that blue section there at the bottom? Or the purpley blue, whatever. Yeah, that's exactly where fall hit us. You can see it was pretty warm, and then wham, all of a sudden it got cold. So yeah, so that's it so far. If you haven't watched before, the little tiny butterflies in between the big ones are butterflies of places that I have traveled during kind of around those months. And so those were the temperatures at those locations that I was at. So I thought I'd do a little bit different things. So like this, we weren't that warm during these months, but we went to Florida. So the butterflies are in the warmer shades. So yeah, I went to several different places, and so I put those temperatures while I was in those locations. So yeah, coming along very nice. So that is my whips. I have other whips, but not that I worked on. Don't get me wrong, there's still whips galore in this house. The other things I'm going to show you are all things that I have finished, not FFO'd, but they are finished stitching pieces. So the first thing, these little guys, so if I can get this without the light glaring on it. Let's see, here we go. So there's those. You got some birds. These ones are gingerbread, man, girl, house. I've also done some of the others. I don't have any to show you in the past. Like farmhouse with some trees and snowy ground on it. So I've done other ones as well. And as you can see, they go on these little wooden sleds. And I'm actually going to show you those a little bit later so you can kind of see what they look like in person through the video, not just a picture like this. So I will show you the ones I finished. The cardinals. We got the boy cardinal and the girl cardinal. We got the Mrs. and the Mr. Gingerbread. And then we got the gingerbread house. So there's all of them. If you notice, and I didn't realize this until I started stitching it, and I'm not sure why it was like this, but the gingerbread ones are slightly smaller. So you can see these are at the same level down here, but you can see it's a little bit shorter up here. The width looks like it might be, I think the width actually might be the same. I think I was looking at it and I think they might be the same, even though just because of the way it's colored, it doesn't look the same. It looks like it's smaller. It's just kind of that, gives you that false sense of it being different. So I just will need to cut these out and glue them onto those sleds. So that is finish number 1. The next one I have, that's a complete finish, making sure nothing's gonna fall out, is this one. I did do the whole thing across here. I didn't just segment it into different parts. So I did the whole thing. And there it is. There it be. So pretty. I love it. For one thing, it's all one color. There's no color changes at all. So that makes it very nice and easy. The one thing that I did differently, trying to think if there's anything else, is that for the stars up there, I did French knots, small ones, because I wanted it to be a little bit more pinprick type of look. Instead of doing X's, just floating in the air like that, they look like X's. They don't look like they're supposed to be stars. So I wanted something that was a little less definitive as an X. So I just did all of those as French knots. I like it. It's really good. Really nice. So now I'm going to have to find a frame. Very wide frame. Obviously not very tall. But I need to do that next. Not sure when I'm going to get to that exactly. The next thing that's a finish is this. If you follow me on Instagram, you did see this posted. I did finish it and post that. And here it is. It is so cute. For one thing, it's beachy, which we're only about an hour from the beach. But it is fall beaching, which you don't see very many things like that I have noticed anyway. Obviously with Mill Hill kits, you get beads and a button. So these are all beads right here. You got some beads in there. Let's see if it'll show up. There's beads along here in these shells down here. There's beads in the pumpkin here. There's some beads in both of the birds. You can kind of see this darker line here for the beads, the orange beads, and of course some more beads down in here. Those are the beads. And they were all the smaller beads. Sometimes when you get these kits, they have the small beads, the petites, as well as the larger ones. I don't like the larger ones as much because they just seem so big. So I'm really glad we just have the small ones. And then this is the button that came with it. And I haven't decided yet if I am going to keep that particular button because they're stitching all behind it. It's not like there's a big void behind that button. I could easily change it and it will be fine. I just don't know if I care for the quality as much. So I just think I might find something else if I remember and change it out. But that's what that all looks like. So cute. I love it. I love the colors too. Let's see. This is more of like a teal color over here. I love that with the orange, the teal and the orange. So it's really pretty. It's just a nice piece altogether. And this is different. I haven't had a Mill Hill kit that did that. That didn't just square off like these ends do. So when it gets, if you were to put this in one of their square frames, this part's going to show. You're going to see that because you can see it in the picture. That part of the perforated paper still shows. So that was different too. Very nice. I love them. All right, the next thing, and I think this is the last finished one I was going to show you, was this. Okay, very cute, very, very cute. So it's called Blackwork Pumpkin. It is from this, the Just Cross Stitch magazine, for October of 2022. So it was in there. I have, as I mentioned, not FFO'd it, but I have finished the two pieces. Let me fold this under so I can get it closer. There we go. So we got one in there. The only difference is that you can see this black work, we'll get up close, this is back stitching, is in place where this one was. So they're alternate. So no black work here, black work here. So I think when you sandwich it on, they line up. And I'll show you that again. So when you put the top and the bottom together, the black work parts will line up and then that'll be great. I have Pro Cotton that will get put to cinch in and create the roundedness of the segments of the pumpkin. So I still need to finish that part. Get it stitched together, stuffed, put that Pro Cotton in there to form those segments, put in a stem, which I have a different idea for a stem, but I'm going to wait and tell you about that until it's done. So I really, really like these. I mean, it's got lots of, it doesn't show up as well on camera. Some of this shows up, but even this darker color has like three different colors orange. So we've got one on the outside, and I think there's another one, then there's a variegated, and then there's the really light stuff. So you can kind of see where the variegated edges around the lighter one, and it goes from oranges to pinks. It's got some pinks in there. So yeah, it's really lovely. I like them. And I think I showed you half of it last time, but I finally finished the bottom part of it, and now I just need to FFO it. If I can only find the time. Okay, I think I have one single purchase for you, as far as I can remember. There's been other purchases I made, but I think it's all for other stuff that I will be talking about shortly. So the one thing that I got that's for me is this. Is that not adorable? So they are turkeys. We got the Mr. and the Mrs. over here. It's almost like a Quaker kind of stitch. so cute. So I'll try and see if you can see this without the glare. So you can see he definitely has neck. They have their necks and their heads, but their body is all this other stitching. So it's not super defined like normal. So what goes with this is that you could, I mean, you don't have to, but I did get it, and I don't know how I feel about it, is the fabric. So this is printed fabric, cross-stitch fabric. So I am going to, got it wrapped up, show you this fabric. Look at that. That's kind of enormous, isn't it? I did not think that it was that big. And I looked at the measurements and I thought, oh, that's not too bad. But I swear it's bigger than what they said. So let's just look together, shall we? It says it's 28 count, which I did get 28 count. It's 173 by 92. That seems bigger than 92, but I know that that's just the stitched part, so I don't know. They do have, oh my gosh, I'll have to show you the back of this. I mean, that's it again. And then this is how wide it really is and how tall it really is. I mean, I don't have to use all the way up here. I can cut it down so that it's like this, but it's still big. It's still ginormous. So unless I make it like a wall hanging or something, I don't think I'm gonna frame this sucker by any means. It's just, that's too much. So in case you didn't see, this is the new Gobbletons, excuse me. The new Gobbletons. That's the name of it. This is who it's by. So Amy TM. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the back of this because it's showing some other options of these turkeys for other seasons. They are adorable. I didn't even look at this. I never really looked at this. So the other one is called Gobble Spell. This is Sabrina and Harry. Sabrina and Harry. Are they hysterical or what? So they got their hats. When you first kind of look at this one, it almost looks like a spider web in the center. But yeah, isn't she cute? Is she holding something? I'm not sure what she's supposed to be holding. If it's a giant wood needle or a wand or what. I don't know. But she's cute. The other things that they make is a Gobble Snow, they call it. And this is Rudolph and Elfina. So we got Rudolph, obviously the reindeer, and Elfina, elf. So that is what those are supposed to be. Are they cute or what? So cute. Yeah. So clearly, you know, I think I called it Amy. It's not Amy. Aria? TM? Whatever. So clearly they're the ones who did these other Halloween and winter ones. So if you're interested, go check them out. It doesn't look like they are done on pre-printed fabric. And again, you don't have to do the Thanksgiving one on pre-printed fabric either. They're adorable. That's for sure. They're so cute. Okay, so that is my stitching segment of this. The next thing that we're going to talk about is what's coming up and what I've been doing, because this is what's consuming a lot of my time. Now, usually in the evenings, there's been a few that this hasn't happened, but usually in the evenings, you know, around dinner time or whatever, I stop working wherever that may be, whether that's working away from home or working on projects I'm trying to get done here. And we get dinner done, ready, eaten, all that. And then I do not do work in the evenings most of the time. It's my time to sit and relax, to be able to do stitching and so forth, because that's the only time of the day that I do it for the most part. So during the day, I'm frantically trying to get things done. And if I have to go to work at Hallmark or I have to go to work at the stump grinding place, it takes me away from home and I'm not able to get the projects done that I'm trying to get done. Those projects are for a Christmas bazaar that's coming up. Our town has done a little bazaar in one of these little community buildings. They have approximately space for 20, maybe just a hair over 20 vendors. It doesn't cost us anything to have a table there, which is so, so nice. The only bad caveat to that is that they don't do it until the second Saturday in December. So people might already have their stuff that they want to purchase for guests, but not everybody. And some people might want to go and find things that they want for themselves. Who knows? It's just kind of late in the season, or it's getting late in the season to have them. But I am going to do that. We have not had a bazaar for I think 3 years, 2 or 3 years because of COVID. So we haven't been able to do that. I did one before COVID affected us and we had to stop doing them. So yeah, I have been very, very busy. Every spare minute of my time is consumed by working on those things that I'm going to have to sell there. So it's kept me from getting, and there's some nights where I don't do any stitching because of that. Or some things, like the little sleds, those are things I'm going to sell. So I've been stitching, but it's not something that I'm going to keep. So yeah, it's kind of been taking up my time. Yeah, I just feel exhausted and drained sometimes. And I know it's gonna be over. I got a couple of weeks of actual working on them when I have time, because this next week at Hallmark is gonna be brutal for work. I'm gonna have so many hours, and they're long day hours. It's not like they're spread out, so that's gonna be a little rough. So I'm going to have about 2 weeks when I do have time to work on things to get those done. And then the week before, the days I'm not working at Hallmark, I'm probably going to be getting the final touches done. So getting everything priced and making sure I have all of the tables and all of the whatever things I'm going to display things on. All that takes a lot of time. And so I've got to parcel that out and make sure that it actually gets done. Yeah, so that's what's been consuming my time. So with that said, let's go see the things that I'm going to have for sale. Okay, let's go. First of all, I want to say, pardon my mess. This is going to be on my craft table because I had some of this already boxed up and I just don't want to drag it down to some other area. So this is just where it's going to have to be shown. So, and I'll get to some other things. I'm just showing you some of it right now. These are adorable little miniature books. So they're ornaments you would hang somewhere. All I did was take a book, cut it up. Nobody wanted it. It's like discounted at the thrift store. Printed these off, glued them so they look like a book. It's not the real book, even in miniature. Doesn't have the story in it, but it looks like a book. So, so cute. So I have a whole bunch of those, including Frosty. So lots of kind of old-fashioned ones. But you can see they're not very big. That's probably the biggest one or one of the biggest ones. So very, very cute. I was very happy when I came across that idea. Okay, let's get to the next things. These little guys. So it's music sheets that I printed. I didn't actually cut up some music sheets. Print it off, cut out into stockings, put in some decor like some greenery or whatever, put a little ribbon at the top for trim, also add another one, a little wire hanger. So now, my lighting isn't the greatest here, and now it is also a ornament to put on the tree. So lots of different depending on what it was. Like this says, oh, Christmas tree for the song, and I put a tree there. And I put a little gold garland in with the greenery as well. This one says bells, so I added a little bell as the little accent. Just something different. I put on some greenery with a pine cone on that one because it was just, you know, kind of generic, but it's kind of nice. And the nice thing is if you can just find some thrifted stuff, you can cut it up to add into those stockings. So let's move to this. So here is this little sled. So wooden sleds, and they'll act as either ornaments or decor, however somebody wants to use them. And this one has a little snowman with a cardinal sitting on his head. And as I mentioned, I have somewhere around here, I'll have to dig those out, like the cabin, house, whatever in the snow. So I will cut all of those out, and we will put those on those sleds. Pretty simple, straightforward, quick, easy ones. I mean, the stitching takes a little while, but I like to do the stitching at night, so it doesn't really matter. I have a plethora of cards that I have made, and these are photos that I have taken in various places. They are just all blank on the inside. Let me get this open. So it doesn't have anything on the inside, so you can make it what you want. And a variety of different things of looks. So this is more fallish with the mountain in the background. That's downtown Portland on the West Hills with Mount Hood in the background. I got lots and lots of flower ones. That one just has a bee. And then, of course, got the pond with the lilies. I've got ocean, beach stuff. I've got, I don't know. There's so many different landscaping, like garden type stuff as well. Lots and lots of different ones. I probably have around 100 different types of images for cards that I will be selling there as well. And along with the photo idea, I went ahead and made a couple of calendars. And so, as you can see, it will have the month there and then a photo to go with it. So it's like a desktop one. So there's another one. And then this is the horizontal one. So you may have, and of course the lighting's not helping here, different pictures because they've got to be horizontal pictures. So again, there's a beach one as well. So yeah, just something, and then they stand up on their own. They're just laying flat so that I can videotape them. I will show you that as soon as I can get it to cooperate here. So they stand up to be on a desk. There's that one. So those, I have a few of those that I will have available. Then the bowl koozie. So if you've not heard of these, seen these, you put a bowl in here like a regular cereal bowl. Then you put your food in there that you want to microwave. Then you microwave your stuff, and then when you pull it out of the microwave, you have something to hold on to. Then a hot burning dish. Yeah, we don't need to burn our fingers. So those, I have like 40 of them. They're not all flames. Some of the fabric I've made 2 of them. A lot of fabrics, there's just one of that type of fabric. Lots and lots and lots of different ones for people to choose from. Then I have these. These are kind of not planned. I happened to see something in a video. I'm like, I bet I could make those. And they didn't have instructions. I just kind of winged it. So they're fabric. They have a stiffener in. So it's 2 pieces of fabric, you know, with a stiffener inside, like an interfacing. And then it's just folded up into a box, tacked down, and then I put a button on each of them to give them a little fun character. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to do those. Let me move some of this because I'm going to show you a couple other little things real quick. I am going to have my project bags that I sell for stitching there, but that's a really specialized thing, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to, if I'll have a lot of those there. But I did make a couple of these. These are those purses that go all the way around. I can't think of the name of them right now, what they are called. Let me see if it says it on here. they're calling it a Barbados bag, but that's not what I'm thinking of. Anyway, it's got a zipper in the front here. This is a pocket, another zipper, another 2 pockets here, and on the inside, let's see if I can unzip this. I don't know if it's going to show. There's a couple more pockets inside there. You can kind of see. Yeah. So I've got one that's more blues and greens, and then one that's purples and blues. So crossbody, that's what I'm thinking. Crossbody type bag. So they're probably around 11 inches by 11 inches or something like that for the height. And then they've got a little bit of a box bottom, so they will fit some stuff in them instead of not having any room at all. And then I have bags, and I'm not even done. I'm going to have some more bags. So I have a variety. This is just a simple one. It's got probably about 1.5 inches bottom on it. Clearly more woodsy, and then I put this faux leather kind of decorative part over the bottom part of the strap. I did that for a couple of them. And then I have fun sunflower ones. They just have an open part. So these ones have just a fabric kind of thing. This has that webbing type of fabric material for the handles, and then I put a button latch over the top of it so that it could stay closed if somebody wants it closed. Very cute. I've got like 3 of those. Then I have this cute little bundle of joy. So the first 2 that I showed you, these ones, don't have any real stiffener in them. They're just the bag and a lining. So like with the sunflower one, let me show you the inside. It's just a yellow inside. A yellow type of fabric. And the other ones were kind of, let me see if you can see. Yeah, they got like trees and stuff in them. Okay. This one has some fleece inside of it to give it a little bit of stabilization where it will actually stand up on its own. So the handles might be a little heavy, but you can kind of see it kind of stands up on its own. Very cute. And then the inside is fun, fun, fun. And then I also have a button on that one, closure there. I'm not going to put probably zippers on these. I'm going to leave them either with a button clasp or nothing at all. And again, this one is probably the biggest one so far. Let's see if we can get this. So it also has some fleece in it. It will stand up on its own. It's got a nice wide box there at the bottom. And kind of that color. I've got something in there. But I did something different with this handle because the others were either the material that the stuff is made out of or that webbing. And this is that vinyl. So I made a rolled vinyl handle. So that'll be a little bit different. I have another bag that is, all I need to do is the handles, and I'll be finished with that one. I've got a bunch of other things that I'm going to do more bags with. Obviously, I might make some more of these in some different fabric. Because I have like 7 of those done. Some are duplicate fabrics. Oh, I am also going to make this. Let me see if I can show you this thing. It is an accessory case type thing. So it holds all those things. So this is a zippered vinyl pocket. This is a zippered vinyl pocket. This side, I know the glare is kind of getting in the way. This is got little sections to put stuff in. And then there's a whole nother vinyl part that lays on top of that that has a little pocket, a big long area for a pocket, like a pattern. You can sit a pattern in there that lays on top of that part where the tools are sitting in their little pockets. So I'm going to, and then it all zips up. You fold it up and it all zips up. I don't think I have, besides what you can see, what I've shown you, there isn't a better picture than that of it closed up, not like a real picture. So that is the things that I have made so far, or I'm planning to make. So it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of stuff keeping me busy. And is going to keep me busy for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Fun times, huh? Oh, yeah. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of that, what I'm getting done, what I plan to do. For stitching wise, I don't have a clue what I'm going to plan to get done, except for the butterfly temperature one. I know I'll work on that. But beyond that, it would be nice if I got that pumpkin finished off so you could see it in its finished state. Other than that, I don't know. I usually try not to kind of tell you the plans for the next month because they're fluid and they change. Because it all depends on what I feel like working on. Do I feel like working on this or do I feel like working on that? And it kind of depends on that night because I may have had a really busy day at work and I want something that's not going to take a lot of brain power. You know, something like this, it didn't take a lot of brain power because it's all one color and it's pretty simple. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you, oh, this is what I'm going to work on stitching wise for the next month. It'll just be what it is and you'll all have to be surprised. Oh my goodness. Other than that, I think that is about it. And hopefully this was a little shorter than normal. And that y'all are having a great fall. It's going to be winter here any time now. I will try to have another video done before Christmas. No guarantee though, because it's already the 20th of November and that means it would be right before Christmas. And you know, maybe it will happen because I won't be consumed with getting stuff done for the bazaar. Yeah. And then I can kind of take a little bit more breathers. Though I do have a couple projects I need to get done for some other people and they will be anxiously awaiting those. So I will have to get those work done too. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed our visit and that you will come see me again in the next month. Bye.